In this unit, we're going to talk about statistics. And statistics, very, very useful in life because we always want to answer questions, and we always want to do so with some degree of confidence, okay, rather than just an opinion. So, you know, like, for example, what's the average income for all adults in the city of Winnipeg? There's a question we could answer. What percent or what do you spend your paycheck on every time you get a paycheck? All sorts of questions you can ask. And statistics helps us, not only does it help us present information using graphs, but if we're given graphs, we can also use it to interpret information and answer questions from it. So we're going to focus on graphs, and we're going to focus on 4 types of graphs. Each of them sort of has a special use. Each of them has disadvantages and advantages. We're going to start with the circle graph. So a circle graph, as the name implies, is the graph in the form of a circle, and we use percentages, right? And it represents different categories of information as sectors of a circle or slices of a pie, okay? And when you add all the slices together, you get the whole amount. So like here is a circle graph of how my paycheck is spent, not mine, but just somebody named Mai. So out of their whole paycheck, they spend 34% on rent and utilities. They spend 8% on transportation, and you can read all the colors according to the legend here. And then if we add all these percentages up, that equals 100%, which is their entire paycheck. So, and that's actually one of the disadvantages of circle graphs, is that they always have to add up to 100%. Well, what if we want to present information that doesn't add up to 100%? Well, we got different graphs to do that. So circle graphs display something called discrete data. And I would like you to know the difference between what is discrete data and what is non-discrete data. So, come on. Oh, here's my pen. So discrete data is data that can be sorted into well-defined categories. If you can't sort it into well-defined categories, it is not discrete data. It's another type of data that we'll talk about a little bit later on in this unit. Okay? And so in order to use a circle graph, the data has to be discrete, which means basically we can count it. We can separate it into categories, not too many categories. So for example, here's a few statements on data, and we want to describe, or we want to identify whether it's discrete or not. So the favorite subject at school, well, subjects are well-defined categories, right? In school, you can have math and history and biology and physics. Okay? There can be quite a few subjects, but they're separated into clearly defined categories. So we would say that your favorite subject at school would be discrete. And it's discrete because of the meaning of discrete, can be separated into well-defined categories. Like math, English, etc. How about the next one? The distance people travel to work. It would be continuous, which is the word we use when it's not discrete, okay? Because you can't separate these into well-defined categories. You could, like if you said, say, 0 to 10 kilometers, and then 11 to 20 kilometers, and then 20, like it's possible to do it that way. But if you want to get all the data, like graph all the data separately, you would have so many categories and they would not be clearly defined, because you would have one person at 5.7 kilometers. Then you would have a second person at 9.2 kilometers, and then another one at 9.7, maybe a second one at 9.7, and then another one at 34.5. Like there's just be so many categories that it would be impossible to put into a circle graph. So we would say, yes, this one is not discrete. Okay? Because they can't be put, distances can't be put into clearly defined categories. Anna, you're right, we would call that continuous. This next one might be a little cloudy. Sometimes they're not cut and dry, sometimes they are. The ages of people. Discrete or not discrete? Sorry, say that again. Okay, continue.
Depending on what you were looking for, action.
So, I mean, if you just counted whole number years, then maybe you could say it's discrete. But not everybody is a whole number of years old at any given day. Maybe some are if it's their birthday. Okay. But I mean, you know, not all, unless two of you or more have the same birthday, all of you would be in different categories for age, technically.
But I feel like we all 15.
You could put it, so it could be discrete if you put it into a range, right? But if you don't put it into a range, it's not discrete. Because somebody could be 15.7 years, somebody could be 15.75. Because time is not discrete. You could, yes. But if I wanted to make a bar graph, even though we haven't talked about bar graphs yet, of your ages, I would have to do 5 different bars for you. Because all of you are a different age. If we put them into a range, you would all be under one category. Okay? So yes, it's possible to make non-discrete data discrete by putting it into a range of values. But if we talk just technically about the ages, we would say not discrete. And you're right. Sometimes we take not discrete and make it discrete, and there's a special graph we use for that. So ages can't be put into clearly defined categories. Even though if we wanted to, we could put them in, if that makes sense. But technically they don't, like every age is different. Really, the difference between discrete and non-discrete, and we'll figure out the word for non-discrete later on, but you've already said it, okay? Discrete are something you can count, but not discrete is something that you can measure. That's really the difference, okay? There's so many different ages, I can't count them all, but I can measure age in terms of time. Distance is not discrete because it can be measured. Height, weight, all of those are not discrete because they can be measured, okay? But something like preferred sport can be counted, can be put into clearly defined categories. They can be counted, not measured. So we would say preferred sport would be discrete. Can be put into well-defined categories. Specific sports. Hockey. Soccer. Etc. Yes, there's a lot of sports, but they can be counted. And the number of cars in a parking lot, sorted by color. Yeah, that would be discrete. The only way it would be not discrete is if you started blending colors. Like if you said something was bluish green or bluish gray. Now you're getting into vague categories. But if we talk about just sort of basic colors, white and black and red, etc., those would be discrete. Can be put into clearly defined categories. Blue, red, etc. Okay? So anything that is discrete, we can put into a circle graph. So for example, the number of cars, or the number of cars in a parking lot sorted by color, well, we could count all the cars in a parking lot, separate them according to color, find the percentage of each, and put that into a circle graph, right? Do you all have a computer with you? Can you get it out now, please? We're just going to start this. First of all, could you do me a favor and on your desktop, create a folder just called statistics?
No idea.
How to create a folder on your desktop? Go to your desktop, minimize these things.
I don't know how to do that even.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, good. Now you should be able to right click. Is it doing anything? I'm not familiar. Oh. Because all I want you to do is have a folder that you could. Can you do that? Can you help?
Oh my God. Go to Finder.
I'm not, you guys are all Apple. I'm not Apple. So just make a folder somewhere that's going to have all the stuff we put in it. It'll be easy just to have it under one folder. Statistics. We're okay. We're good. Okay, so the next thing I want you to do is I want you to open up Microsoft Excel. Okay, so the screen without the typing should look something like this. And it should be called right now Book 1 at the top. Book 3, okay, so you've got something else open. Or you saved something. So, first thing I want you to do before we run out of time is save this as 2.1 circle graph. 2.1 circle graph. That way we can just open it up tomorrow and continue with it. And in the exercises you're going to be asked to do, some of the questions will be answered on your computer. So you would put exercise 2.1 number, whatever, but I'll show you that later. Okay, so what's this problem here that we're doing? So it's pretty straightforward. There's only 3 categories here. University registrar would like to find out how many high school students in the area are planning to attend university, does a survey, comes up with the following results. 1,802 students in the area said they intended to go to university. 1,163 said they were not sure. And 826 said they were not going to university. We want to show so what we want to do is show this, instead of just showing it as names and numbers, which a lot of times doesn't mean much, we want to show it visually, and we're going to use a circle graph. So we need to find the percent that go to that are planning to go to university, the percent that aren't sure, and the percent that aren't. But the circle graph does it for us. We're not going to do these by hand. Okay, we used to do them by hand, but we're not going to do them by hand. Not when we've got technology. It doesn't make sense. Okay, I don't know who would do one by hand anymore, unless you're writing code, I guess. Okay, so we need 3 categories. So in the cell A1, upper left corner, and then going down, put your 3 categories. Planning to attend university, and then hit enter to go down to A2. Not planning to attend university, unsure. So you want, and you can follow along, these are in your notes too, which are in color. Ooh, nice. Once you've got those 3 entered, you're going to go to B1 and enter the corresponding numbers for each category. So for planning to attend, 1802. For not planning, 826. For unsure, 1163. Technically, it doesn't matter what order you put in the planning, not planning, or unsure. Just make sure the numbers match up. Yep. Planning, they're in here. Yeah, they're up here.
Oh, I didn't see it
Yeah,
there.
planning to attend.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we got a little bit of time. Maybe we can just get the graph and then we'll stop from there, because we gotta do stuff to the graph. Okay, so that's really, for all the graphs we do, this is one of the main parts. It's just entering our data. Okay, entering our variables, entering our numbers. Now what you need to do is you need to highlight all 6 cells. Okay. Once they are all highlighted, go up to insert. Okay. And then in the insert bar, in the middle, you will see a pie graph, or you will see a pie chart, which is another name for a circle graph. If you click on the pie, okay, the circle, you will get choices here. Pick this one, the first 2D pie. How did we do? Did we get it up?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, good. Insert. Yep. Nice. Perfect. Yes? Good. So you can see that it has calculated the percentages for us. Okay. Although we can't see the percentages in the graph yet. We've got to put them in. And we've also got to title the graph. Okay, but we'll do that. Well, we're almost out of time. We'll finish it up tomorrow. So all I would like you to do for now, and the nice thing is you can even make different circle graphs. You could make a 3-dimensional one. You could make a donut circle graph. Okay, so just save that for now and we'll pick it up tomorrow.